Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get it poppin' till like 6 in the morning. Come break it down.
What's up, Daniel?
What's up, Quicksilver?
Daniel, son.
What's up, Beto?
Where you been at? Where the party's at?
Chilling. They're at places of education, places where you're growing. Yeah, that's where
preach it, brother. Preach it. There you go. Starting off.
Snooze
I got
fest.
you.
El filósofo,
Got you.
kicking it strong, huh, bro?
Yeah.
What's up?
Philosopher, huh?
That's right. Reading is fundamental.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that new Calexico bus stop to get built.
Calexico bus stop. What the hell? Really?
New project.
budget
Yes,
or
sir.
what?
Yes,
Go to
sir.
the city council meeting, bro?
Mhm.
For
Yes,
what?
sir.
What are they building a new bus
There you
stop
go.
for?
Because the old one's all too raggedy. Rudy's selling fentanyl
Or it's
all
not-
around
it's-
there.
Is that the Greyhound one?
No, I think it's the actual main city one. You know when you're passing by the Las Donas Mias, the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
yeah, that's what my dad would call it. Smell like piss
On
there.
2nd Street now?
Yeah, mhm,
Second
yeah.
Street.
That's me. Yeah. How's it done, sir? A little salty,
Smell like piss.
sour, sweet and sour.
Yeah. It's a good way to walk into the United States.
Donuts. Right? Welcome to the
Great
US.
way to
Welcome
start
to
off.
the U.S.
So
Piss
like
the
Mialos.
penis. That's the penis of the country.
Mialos and Jumbo Jacks. Huh? Remember we used
First
remember?
thing
Hell
you
yeah.
see,
Oh yeah, always get.
Everybody pees in that alleyway. That's what
Oh, seriously, bro.
That's what everybody
Lack of
knows it from.
facilities, huh?
Every interview that I've seen of like influencers or anything, they mention the fucking ¿y qué pasó con el callejón ese que huele a miados? All
That's
that's
fucking
the publicity
legendary, bro.
that fucking
That's
Calexico
just a
gets.
landmark, bro.
Yeah, huh?
Established. When was Calexico
World's most
established?
concentrated
Sure.
urinally.
It's a little glimpse of New York City right there, bro.
There you go.
Mhm.
What you call it? So, want to thank Jaden for coming on last week. You know, Ivan couldn't be there because we couldn't get the 3 mics working over there, but that's all right. You know, he took one for the team,
It's all right. It's all
stepped
right.
out.
Yeah.
But we're back. It's us 3. We're gonna figure it out, get that working
Yeah.
for our next guest and stuff.
Yeah,
We'll get the ball rolling
Get the
here.
kinks out. Don't worry.
yeah,
What you been up to, Daniel? What's new? Has it been a week? Anything new?
yeah,
during
dude.
this
A
week?
week of
A lot can
constant
happen.
work, schoolwork, locking in. I really took it. It was eye opening that Jaden does what he does in his own school, and it left it lingering because I always go through it. You're young and you're doing all kinds of things, and at the end of the
Yeah.
day, everything's gonna be a sacrifice, and so you're weighing out what it is that you want to do. You don't want to get caught up like saving, like I guess saving money excessively and not spending or not going out or spending your time, but trying to find a balance. So just working for school right now. I got some big projects. We're doing our own study, and I'm trying to find the correlation between anxiety and social media use. So I have to get surveys together, and those surveys, they have to be certain questions in a certain order and not too many questions, because a lot of things that will alter the data that you're extracting or mining from people, when you want data from people. So you also have to work within the same group, because then that's going to alter. So since I'm making it for anxiety with social media usage, it's just going to be school kid. It's just going to be people going to school, adults,
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going to do it at IBC.
Youngins.
Yeah. So it's kind of like putting our foot in. It's putting our foot into like scientific research and review articles, and all the stuff that exists in the academic world, because essentially there's thousands of articles of information out there, but who's going to get all this information and put it together and make it make sense and connect the dots? So
Yeah.
you have to begin to get used, because there's different kinds of articles that exist in the academic environment. And so one of those kinds of articles is like compiling all the articles that exist. Like, let's say there's like thousands of studies about rats getting given cocaine, So someone that goes to school has to get all that information together and process it and say, well, this is what I found from all of the research that has been going on. and so presenting everybody else's. So I think this is pretty interesting. It kind of
Oh,
got
that's
real
just-
though. It kind of got real because the teacher was like, basically that's the class of research methods, and the project is the entire class. So he's like, don't forget how important this is. And he wrote a specific email. He's like, don't forget how important this is. If you guys don't do this, then like you can't get your associates, or you can't go on to the next level.
Yeah.
This class is really important. So I'm trying not to
yes.
let it get in my head and just kind of do it automatically.
No, having Jaden, like, it really opened my eyes. Like, what the fuck was I doing in high school? You know,
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
whole
What
lot of
I'm,
nothing.
yeah.
You know, could have
Yeah.
done so much more. And you have regrets later on in life, but everything goes its way. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be.
I can kind of tell you why he's doing the way he's doing, because when he has that structure, he has those parents, give him that discipline. Us growing up, to be honest, I mean, my dad wasn't there. We didn't have that, he didn't show up to our games, at least to my games. My mom, she had, basically she had to survive, find a way to survive, and she couldn't go to our games either. So we didn't have that structured support. That's why I really didn't focus on sports. I would have, in retrospect, definitely, I would have been different. But so you need that when you don't feel like you have that support. That sometimes you just like, at least for me, I was just like, hey, why am I doing this? Nobody's coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has that structure, and
And the
it's
push.
very important.
Yeah.
That push. That you're right.
But also to understand that, like, let's say Jaden's thing was football. You have to read your son, and you have to see what his interests are, and then kind of feed that
Oh, yeah.
too. Because, like, let's say your kid likes to draw. I mean, yeah, he'll play the sports, but he really likes to draw, and maybe getting him in the area of drawing at a really young age, so that he can, when he's fucking really old, he's been doing school and all this stuff and balance, but he's perfected his craft that he truly is interested in.
Yeah.
Whether that be whatever it is, because for Jaden's example, it's taking him for school. Sometimes drawing can get you
Yeah.
somewhere else if that's where you're trying to go, or if you're trying to play soccer, or taking it to the next level. And the importance of our parents' involvement in taking your kids' interest to the next level. It could
Feel you
really
knocking.
shape up your life.
Whatchamacallit. One thing I wanted to talk about was let's see how can I explain it. As an adult, do you ever have anything on your mind that's kind of weighing you down? Like, I have stuff all the time that weighs me down. Like, you get older and you worry about more stuff. But like me, I guess it's not financial because I'm not struggling. I'm not poor. But it's like I know I can do better, but I'm like at a standstill. Of what I can do, and that really bothers me. Is there anything on your mind, Daniel or Ivan, that like daily struggle that you go through, like just trying to get day to day, that's something just weighing on your mind? Like, you got anything like that?
Yeah, music. I think music and arts are something that are on my mind every single day, every single hour. And sometimes I feel it weighs me down to know that I have to sacrifice time. And like like for instance, arts and stuff like that would be like a good medium for me to feel all right, and to feel that I'm not only progressing in school and stuff, but I'm also progressing in art, and that makes me feel good. But I keep telling myself that I don't have time, because one thing or another, sometimes I just want to be fast. And like, for instance, I could play video games, and it's just like it could be 30 minutes to 20 minutes that I'm on there quick. Sometimes
Yeah.
with art, like, you have to sit there, get in, it's like, it's not just a 15-hour activity, to get your mind off of things. So like, I think that's something that weighs on me. Playing an instrument, getting good at an
Yeah.
instrument.
Yeah. With mine, it's like it weighs me down that I don't feel like I'm as good as I should be. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, there's so much more to life that I can do. And it's like a daily struggle trying to just live the life that I live while I'm trying to accomplish other things. It kind of makes me feel like I'm not a man in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the person I'm supposed to be. You see, it's kind of like a daily struggle, right? And I really bring myself down because I want to be so much more, but yet like daily things just kind of don't let that happen or whatever. You want to apply for other jobs and you can't do that. Like, not at the moment, but I don't know. It's just something that really brings me down emotionally and personally. Like, I always think about it on a daily basis. I was wondering more like that. Ivan, you got anything that goes weighs you down?
Well, this kind of actually fits into to recent, situations that are occurring in my life right now. I finally gave up an industry that I was not happy. I woke up, I could, I woke up, I did the tasks I was just, paid to do, but my heart is not in it now in your case, bro. And I I understand that you feel like you're not, content or fully satisfied, or fully reached the potential that you do in your position. I believe it's because, it's, I don't, maybe you love that industry. But I don't, maybe it's not something that you love and truly, because we need to do, like, I made a life change.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna focus on personal training now, and becoming a nutritionist and things of that nature. And I'm finally doing it. I'm finally going back to school. I can finally say, making that change in my life. I
Yeah.
can finally say that I'm not gonna be, people that you can see the people every day. I mean, unfortunately, you could, just go to Walmart, go to any store. You see people just walking around like zombies, not really, doing what makes them truly happy. Not everybody, there's folks out there who are really blessed and, have that opportunity. And if you have that opportunity, bro, you might have to, sacrifice certain things, certain luxuries, or certain, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you have to find that thing that makes you want to get up every morning. Like me, I am happiest when I am training. If I don't train, I feel off. I feel
Yeah.
like Joe Rogan said, like on his podcast, he was like, "Hey, I feel like when I don't train, I feel like a piece of shit. Like I didn't do anything. That's
Yeah.
how I feel. I know it's not like that for everybody, but
Yeah.
you need to find that niche that makes you want, feel that, it's whatever it is for you. And for Danny as well, he needs to make time, which he will. He's doing great. He's going to school, but if he truly wants the music, he needs to make time for it as well. And that comes with sacrifice. That comes with people. They're gonna tell you, why are you doing that shit for? Do something else. Why are you doing that? It's gonna happen, but that's because they don't want to change their life, or risk whatever it is. They whatever change they need to make themselves, do what they want to do. Like, I think, you have to make that change, and it's not easy. And, it's not gonna be
And
easy for me, me and my wife.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I have that support system that, she's very supportive, and you need that support system,
Yeah.
to help you. And when it comes to terms of that, that's at
like,
least that's my view of it.
Yeah.
but also every it's always the first step to action is desire. So you have to desire it, and sometimes desiring is kind of it sucks
It's scary,
because
yeah. I mean, yeah.
it sucks because you don't have it yet, and you know that where you want to be is pretty long. But
But
if you just do a little step every year, like, and for instance, Ivan, you like doing the little steps that you're doing to getting towards that big goal is really satisfying, and it helps you get to that goal, even if it's pretty far. But every crazy thing started with the desire for something more. So at least you have the desire for something more, which is a great place to start, because a lot of people don't even have the desire, and they have already succumbed to
they stay
their
complacent,
their own, like, you kind of like, you fix everything starts to kind of fix itself around you instead of you fixing it yourself around it. So you got bills of things stacking up more and more and more, and then you're just getting caved in because of the life choices that you just continue to be in. You decide to do nothing and kind of continue letting it all float instead of kind of taking a desire
Yeah. And
and following.
getting back to you, Ivan said if he doesn't go to the gym, he feels like shit. If I just like take a day off and watch TV like all day, like I'll feel like shit. Like I feel like I'm wasting time. Like I'm not doing something.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
happens
then,
to be a lot.
yeah.
It's
But then again,
normal.
but then again, I don't know what to do. Right. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's like I got to figure out what I can do in the meanwhile to make my time right. But also, you got to rest your mind too. I know there's times
Yeah.
when I just need a day for myself, and I'm just like, everything's so overwhelming, and you just need a day, right? But then at the end of the day, you're like, fuck, I didn't do shit today. I feel fucking lazy. Like, I don't know. I could have done something, right? Whether anything, it could have been anything. But yeah, that's when I feel like shit. I mean, Ivan feels like shit. When he doesn't go to the gym, I feel like shit when I don't do anything for a day. But then again, I do love my job. Like, this job that I do, I don't think there's probably been days where I'd be like, I don't want to go to work today, but maybe just because, I was feeling tired, but not because I hate what I do. I love what I do. I do love it. I just think it's reached the potential where it's hard to like go up the ladder, at this point. from the position that I do.
Right.
So I have been looking at other places, similar things that might open up, but it just, it sucks when you reach this level when you're like,
The plateau.
there's not that many opportunities, right? Yeah, there's a plateau and there's not that many opportunities, and you're just kind of hanging around there for 2 years or so, and you're like, fuck, man, what is it? Do I really love this job that much to stay here and just be the rest of my life just like this, or is there something more for me? And this podcast is an example, of something more, and it could pop off or it could not be nothing, and that doesn't matter, but I love this moment. I love doing this. This is kind of like something that we can do. We're not wasting time. We're talking about our issues and our problems,
Mm-hmm.
letting people hear us out, so this has been a big plus for me in that sense. And there's times too when I'm like, fuck, I gotta go home and do the podcast, just got off work. But once we sit here and we start talking, and it's like, oh shit, it takes that all away, right? It's kind of like, well, I get the feeling like sometimes when I want to go to the gym, I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to go, But once you're there, you're like, fucking push it harder, 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 And you get out of sweating, you're like, hell yeah, that was worth it,
Mhm.
It's,
always is.
yeah, it's that type of feeling. Do you have anything, Daniel, that like, besides music and art that you're not doing that kind of brings you down, that you feel like you're not there yet, or you can do something more, or you feel like you're chasing your dream right now, everything you're doing is just right?
I recently started planting plants again, and that's a huge plus. I may
go.
not
Alright.
be
What kind of plants?
and then I
Maple
got into
plants?
computers. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And then
Oranges and shit.
all kinds of stuff.
Got yourself a lemon tree.
Lemon tree, what the fuck? A little lemon limes with a little lemonade. All right.
A little lemonade. Oh.
No.
Planting plants, and that was something that was getting itchy. So I feel like I'm chasing my dreams, and I feel like I have everything leveled, except that the only thing is the financial. You're working when you're going to school. You're working with minimal resources, especially if you're someone with a certain socioeconomic background. So you're limited in resources. It's a struggle to not be able to explore a lot more than I would like to explore, especially right now that I have time to be able to go to a museum and be there for hours and learn, or to go to a city and see all kinds of things at
Yeah.
the city, but and actually absorb all of this and learn, from all the different places,
Yeah.
but I can't. So I can to a certain extent, but I have to be focused. I'm the type of person that I can't lose focus on what I'm doing. I have to kind of stack things in priorities, because that's just how I work, and that's what worked best for me right now. If I have to keep something that's a big priority of my attention, and I can only have so much stuff on the attention there. So in terms of that, all my attention is taken up. So I feel good all in all.
Yeah,
I
okay.
might not have the financial
Good.
means, but there's different stages in life. Different stages have different things. Sometimes you have more money than other stages, but you don't have a lot of time. And so I'm
Do you
grateful
get
to where I'm
frustrated
at.
at times because the financial means right there? Or
Yes,
you don't really
yes,
think
and
about it too much.
Yeah, and then you want to do
But that's where that
things that
sacrifice comes in,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to do things that you shouldn't do as a student.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not everybody's like that, but especially coming from a certain background, you realize that you live in a place that there's a lot of black market things going on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
black market movement. I live in a border, and it's really easy to get caught up in seeing my classmates or seeing people who had a different kind of life, and be okay with everybody's in their own race. There's not even a race. Everybody's in their own trip. That's what I call it. In your own
Yeah.
trip. Everybody's in their own trip, and you just enjoy your trip as much as you can, because there's always more, and
Yeah.
it also gives me anxiety thinking about it, so I think it costs a lot to be okay with where you're at, and it's been
Yeah.
a constant exercise every day to accept that I have to make use of my funds and have gas in my tank, and then everything, just so I'm not stressed about school. And then if I don't
Yeah.
have money for a cool pair of shoes, well, I'll just take care of the cool pair of shoes that I have as much as I can, and take care of the stuff that I have, and just be okay be okay because
Yeah.
it's si me voy and I'm going off in the trip, you know, trying to
Yeah.
keep up with everybody around me. Like, oh, these people are going to this place, and what am I doing? You know, I'm here at school, like, or doing this because I happen to make certain decisions, or things happen to me a certain way that led me to be in school at 26, which is
Yeah.
different. You know, I see people sometimes at 26 already out, and I don't like to feel that envy. It's not good, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
try to practice to be grateful where I'm at, and to every time when I go to bed, I'm just really grateful for my family and the way that everything has played out until this day, and
Yeah.
being grateful.
Amen, brother. Preach. Which brings me to my next. That's not. I don't want to say next topic, but it brings me to my next. Have you ever had days where you're just like so irritated, but you don't know why you're irritated? Like, there's days when I just wake up like
Hell,
irritated, bro. And
Mhm.
anybody bothers you, anybody says nothing, you just feel like it's just one of those bad days.
Yeah, it's just one of
But
those days.
yeah, but I don't know if it's personal for me, or if maybe I'm not happy with my life. And when I say happy with my life, I don't mean with my wife, or with my pregnant wife, or with my kid to come,
Yeah,
or with my family. That's not what
yeah,
I mean.
yes,
I
yeah,
mean happy with
100%.
myself, of where I'm at and where I want to be. That might lead to some of the frustration where I wake up in a bad mood. But once a day starts going, it kind of goes away. But somebody says something, and you're like, you get real irritated, like out of the norm from what a normal day would be. Do you guys feel anything like that, or am I alone on this? You
Yeah,
got some?
and then I sit on it, and then I dig into what's happening, and I don't focus on the anger too much, but focus like if it was like a little volcano, and then you're trying to it's a volcano under the water, and you just hear the heat, you know, you're trying to see where
Yeah,
it's coming
bubbling.
from. Yeah, and I just kind of like sit and find out where it's coming from, even if I don't like it, because if you dig enough, sometimes it's your own pride not letting you find out what you're angry about, you
Yeah,
know, because your sense of pride is pretty fucked up, you know. At least mine. Sometimes even when it comes to forgiving, I my own ego gets in the way of me forgiving, you know.
yeah,
So it kind of big blurs why I'm even mad in the first place. But then I find out and I'm like, okay, well that's the part of me that probably didn't. For instance, I'm getting mad that I don't have a lot of time, you know,
yeah,
and I'm getting mad at school. Well, like, where's that coming from? It's coming from a feeling of not being able to do what I want to do. So what I do, I'm like, all right, I'll save a little night where I'm like an hour, and I'll just bullshit with my friends on the Xbox, and I
yeah,
just and it, you know, I did something minuscule. It's like a little band-aid, but I did something that I wanted to do, and that helped me out. You know, during the day, I'll
yeah.
even take a break and get on a few matches of Marvel Rivals. Play that right now to help with that, because sometimes you can't make the change just like that. Like, let's say that you really want to do what you want to do, you can't just flip, and sometimes
Yeah,
sometimes you can't just leave your
yeah,
job because of your situation. So
yeah,
you do little things until you can do the bigger thing to make the shift in your life. That's how I feel. That's what I think when you ask me that question.
yeah. What about you, Ivan?
Well, I remember you guys were talking about social media anxiety, how that plays a role, and that's a big from what you're
Yes.
talking about. Because I know it's
Yes. That too.
it's
Great
very
point.
subconscious. I believe that we see, because all what do we see on social media? We see
Yeah,
the happiness. The only
Comparison.
bad shit we see is like the fucking violence. That crap we see. But when we have
News too.
friends and loved ones, what do we see for them usually? All the happy moments, but
yeah,
deep down, you don't know what's going on. I'm sure they have, some of them have worse problems than us. Some have, not as much problems than us. That's why because I used to wake up pissed all the time, not loving what I was doing, just hating life. And I got to a certain point when I was like, fuck, it was so tiring just, getting up like that. Like
yeah,
by midday, I was like, I was exhausted, not physically, but mentally, because I was just mind fucking myself. So I had to
yeah,
find a way just to wake up and just be grateful, and, always think of, it's because if you think about social media, it's a double-edged sword. Because also, if you see all the crap that's on social media, like your life, like my life, I'm so grateful because people, people live in Libya and all these shitty
yeah. Of
places where
course.
they're getting bombed, and this.
Yeah,
just madness, apocalyptic stuff. So I'm very grateful, and that's really helped me, and just and being more empathetic, because I know, because we encounter a lot of people when we go out, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody cuts you off, or somebody gives you a bad gesture, is rude to you, but you don't just like they don't know what's going on with them, we don't know what's going on with them, they don't know what's going on with us. That's I kind of be more empathetic and just be grateful that because we never know, our life
Yeah.
can end quick. So that's how it's helped me like very, very much, because I'm not
Yeah.
perfect. There's times where I
Yeah.
wake up, what am I doing with my life? And I always ask myself, us as men, because us as men, we need to have a purpose in life, right? We need to be where we're servants at the end of the
Yeah.
day. We need to, so if we're not, like you said, if we're not doing something, like, yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting on the couch, and of course it's super relaxing, but like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't do shit today.
But
Like,
also-
hey, but something, yeah, go ahead.
Don't forget that a lot of the things that they some of the things that they teach in sociology is that don't forget what kind of society you live in, and also don't
Yeah.
forget that this society wants you to produce, and as soon as you get to a certain age that you don't produce,
Oh,
look what's
yeah.
happening to our mom specifically. Vacations get pulled.
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened to all those
Wow.
people that work their entire life?
That's right. Where's
And
that
then-
money at?
Yeah, and then
You know
the
what I mean?
government strips them. The government strips them of their money until they're poor enough to receive health insurance.
And they give them the shit health
Fucking-
insurance, the
Well,
worst.
Yeah, and then so like
Mhm.
it's normal to feel like that, and especially in a capitalist society. And not to get all
Oh yeah.
ooh, because you mentioned capitalist society,
Right.
people are like, "Oh, what are you, a socialist?" No, but it's
No,
true
no. Mhm.
that this industry that we live in, it's all about producing, and if you don't produce, then you get pushed to the fucking side.
You're
Look at
worthless.
homeless people.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
see
Oh,
the
yeah.
criminalization of homeless people. Why? Because they don't
Mhm.
want you to fucking chill, and they think you're a nuisance.
No.
You're a baggage for society if you don't do something. You
Yeah.
know, and don't
yeah.
forget
Yeah.
that. Don't let the fucking don't let that overshadowing make you feel less of a person, because I struggle with that too. And
Mhm.
like I thankfully I talk to people that are that some of my friends go like are into that whole reading about certain different kinds of, let's say, not financial institutions, but like the methods, like let's say socialism and capitalism and communism and all those things, and actually seeing what is it all about, because it can a lot of our psychological issues can come from an industrial society trying to keep up.
Well,
You
yeah, 'cause
can't
we're
keep up.
overworked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't keep up with this massive
Overworked.
machine.
Yeah.
That after the world wars, like they started mass producing a lot of things. So
I remember remember what was it? The president, was it Eisenhower? Remember he mentioned the military industry before he left office. He mentioned the military industrial complex. Yep, it was going to take over the world. That's why.
Yes.
Sadly, there's never going to be any peace, because war is true. Not to get all political or anything
Yeah.
like that, but just it
all
yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
It all exists. It's the same way as the prison industrial complex. It all exists. We all
slave labor, pretty much.
we all have it existing within our society. So it's really hard to even push it aside. But those feelings are normal in
Yeah.
the
Oh,
terms
yeah.
of living in I'm not saying they're
Mhm.
normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal. That's not a way to live, especially for a person. It's just why people die of stress. Because
Yeah.
imagine you got financial issues, and then you got the unrelenting feeling of
I gotta
that
do
you're
something.
not doing
Yeah,
what you want to do,
Mhm.
and that feeling doesn't go
Yeah.
away. It's not the flu.
Yeah.
Even
It's
when
not
you're on
gonna
vacation,
go
you're
away.
like, should I be doing something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
yeah. So like it's like, what do you think about those Buddhists who spend their lives meditating and doing what Western society would say is nothing?
Just chilling.
Just
Just
chilling.
fucking
Fucking
trying to
bump
figure out
tone
what
shower.
they
Whole lot of
do.
chilling.
Yeah. A
Oh,
whole lot
man.
of fucking nothing. But to him,
Like,
it's something.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
all a matter
Oh,
of fucking perspective on whether you're doing something or nothing. Like
Right.
to America doing something, or to even to Mexicans doing something would be having a business or doing this or fucking never sitting down. Or like, hey, fool, like,
Or even like
have a
if,
chill
like
pill,
in Mexican
man.
households,
Fuck.
like where we go visit my mom or something, like where he's, or at least I know I don't have to do anything,
Yeah.
but I feel like I should be doing something at my mom's.
Yeah,
should I be
yeah,
helping
yeah.
cleaning or
Yeah,
or
yeah,
so, or even
And then
growing up,
that's
like,
a good feeling. It's like, okay,
It
you
is,
might do something.
makes you productive.
Yeah,
Makes you look
but
productive.
all the time to the point that
No,
you're
no.
also evading your own
no.
your
Your
own
family,
destiny,
yeah,
you might
yeah.
want to call it,
Oh,
or
yeah.
your own or
Mhm.
your own self, your own, yeah, your own destiny. You know, because we all have a little lingering. We all, I think, as humans, we want to reach our destiny. It sounds like, oh, like, dang, man, what are you, a
One would hope,
Jedi?
right?
Jesus Christ.
To
Go
prove that
ahead.
point, it's because I took an English class, and
Excited.
our English class did me the English teacher did me the biggest favor that have ever had to do, and he
Paro
tricked us
duro.
into he tricked us into having direction. He told us all to write 40 goals, short term and long term, and he made us write a full essay. It was like a 3 month preparation for it. And had it not been for the teacher actually giving me an assignment to find out about myself, I probably would have never taken, as simple as it is to get down and write 40 short term and long term goals and prioritize them in different aspects of society, social, financial, in relationships, materials, and stuff like that. So it was pretty crazy to see that some of my goals contradicted themselves. Had I not wrote them down in paper, I realized that I was walking in contradiction. Like I wanted this, but then on a short term I wanted this, and it's like these two things don't connect and they can't live and coexist. So that contradiction in myself is making me feel bad. And so I thought that was crazy. I thought that was crazy for him to do that to us, and we didn't even know it. I'm more into the
Yeah.
psychology, so I was like, damn, dude, like the guy was he's a Mexican from Brawley, Chicano from Brawley, and grew up
Some
in the
Mexican
90s.
from Bronx.
See, that's
Yeah.
a true educator right there.
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. Fuck yeah. And it changed my life. He changed
Mm-hmm. Yep.
my life. And
That's
he
what educators are supposed to do. You know,
Yeah.
be that guide. Mhm.
yeah. And that is perfectly aligns to that. Some of us don't even know what our goals are, or long-term goals are, or short-term goals. So that's a good way. That's a good way. If
Well, it's
anybody
good to write them
listening,
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
write them
Write down
down.
your goals, definitely. Yeah.
40 goals in
Because
different
if you
aspects
wouldn't have
of,
written them
of your life.
down, if you wouldn't have written them down, then you wouldn't have,
Yeah.
seen that contradiction.
Yeah. It's like,
You
okay,
know?
let's say that one of your goals is to become a doctor.
Mhm.
But then another goal is to spend time with your family, buddy. You think
you
you're
can't
gonna
listen to
be
family,
spending time with
bro.
your family? Like,
Yeah.
like really, realistically
Yeah.
speaking, you're probably gonna see your parents every so often. Why? Because you're gonna be so that's gonna cause conflicting feelings. So either
Mhm.
you fix one goal or you fix the other goal, or you're gonna be sad. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Recipe for sadness.
Yeah, but it's funny Ivan said that the masculine side in us, because my wife is very like, she's very cheery, very positive all the time, and I'm not as much as she is. And she'll say like, "Oh, we're blessed, we have everything," and she sees it in that way, and which is I do too. I know I'm blessed. I have a roof over my head. I'm married, have a baby on the way. Everything's going, I don't want to say storybook, but everything's going the way it's supposed to be. But I still feel I don't feel as positive as she does sometimes, and that might be the masculinity in me saying that I got to do more. I'm not doing enough. And like a girl today at work told me, and I know she didn't mean it in a bad way, but she said, "Are you gonna work here your whole life? I know you can do more. Have you ever tried to apply for anything else? Like you got a kid in the way. You got to support your wife and everything." And I'm like, and I'm sitting there like, God damn it, man! Like, fuck, I should be doing more.
Then
There's
maybe you
cues.
have your answer right there,
There's
bro. You know what I
cues.
mean?
There's cues. God isn't gonna come
Yeah,
down
yeah,
and save you.
There's one
you know?
cue, and then you say you've been thinking about changing the industry quite a bit,
Yeah.
or so. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some
that's
signs
it.
right there.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
just wish I
You
had.
know?
I wish I had her mentality, right? But we're men,
Right.
so we're always gonna feel like we're not doing enough, or we're not, bringing in enough, or whatever it is. But
Well, that's what we have. We have good wives that they're cheerleaders for us. They keep us going when we're feeling down, we're feeling unproductive. It's good to hear that. That thank you from them. We appreciate that appreciation. That it's good. At least it makes me happy when I hear that from my wife. That's what they're there for, to bring us up when we feel like that in those situations.
Yeah.
of course,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and not,
And
and not, we're not. I'm not trying to be negative or anything.
No,
It's just
yeah.
it's
I hear
just
you.
daily stuff, that I go
Right.
through, that I think about, that I wanted to talk about. But on the bright side, there's also positives. If you even see me 8 years ago, before I worked at this job, I really didn't have much. I was just part time in it, living at my mom's,
Mhm.
doing a whole lot of nothing, So I'm grateful in a way for this opportunity, to move out of my mom's house, leave the city, go to San Diego, get the job, be on my own, pay my bills, and do all that, and then meet my wife, and get married and do all that. Like, it's a blessing. I've come afar, a long way from where I
A lot of
was.
people, a lot of
Yeah,
people would
and
like
same as
that,
Daniel too. Yeah,
A lot of
same as
people would
Daniel
like
too.
that.
He was in a bad place, and he got over that. And he went back to school, and he's getting his head on his shoulders and figuring it out.
I
Same for
partied for
you,
7 years straight.
Yeah, yeah.
8 years.
I did 10. And Ivan did like 20.
Hell yeah.
Oh, some couple of residual effects, but it's all right. Great.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You do the best you can. You take your vitamins.
That's right.
You hope and
Quarter of
pray.
my brain works. So it's all right.
Yeah,
It's a good set.
yeah.
So now that we said the negatives, what are some positive from your guys' lives that you're proud of to say right now? Like, you know what, I went from this to this.
Top notch. All right.
Do you want me to go?
Like-
Oh,
No,
well,
no.
for at least for oh,
Go ahead. You were thinking about it, or what was going on?
Not.
I was
Eva?
gonna let Danny go first, but I
Okay.
can go. Well, positives. Well, a big one. I mean, for me, I'm in great shape. But it changed my life completely, bringing it in great shape. It's just, of course, the physical is always a plus, but just feeling that confidence, where I can go and apply for that job, and apply those things to my life. That's a real big positive for me, and to be that example, especially to my niece.
Yeah.
Teach her the ways, of she's already, imitating me, and hopefully, baby Tuti as well, she can, from both of us, from all of us, get that,
Yeah.
that positive instillment that we need to, treat our bodies as such, and treat them in a positive way. It's going to help us in our lives. That's a big positive. And then, I can't say enough about my wife. I mean, she's the blessed thing, most blessed thing that's been, she came in at a time where I was not supposed to be out that night. I was not supposed to meet her, but she's my, like I said, she's my cheerleader when I'm
Yeah.
feeling down in the dumps. I mean, and vice versa. She's gone through some stuff, and I've been that that cheerleader, for
Yeah.
her as well.
Goes both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you have to, and I'm grateful, just grateful.
Yeah, that's one big thing, that a man needs. And there's gonna be guys out there that'll tell you otherwise. They'll say,
Mhm.
I can do it myself. I was one of those guys thinking in a moment, I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. Until I met my wife, and then I was like, oh snap, this person's different.
Yeah.
They cheer you on, they bring you up when you're down, and that's rare. It's hard to find these days. I had a lot of relationships, and not bashing anybody that I had a relationship with, but it wasn't like this one. It wasn't the positivity of, you're doing great where you're at. You can always do more.
Mm-hmm.
Let me help you. Let me get behind you. We'll do this together. I think that really goes a long ways.
Just makes life easier.
Yeah, it
I mean,
does.
why okay, we can all live alone, but why why make your life harder? I mean, at least for me, as I'm getting older, once I got to my 40s, you stop giving a shit about a lot of things. That's one thing I've noticed. You just-
That's great.
all the small stuff, like it just.
Yeah.
I know that's because I'm matured also, but you don't sweat a lot of, and I've fucking sweat a lot of the small stuff. I've had to do that a lot. But yeah, that really helps, and it makes life easier as well. But having a great wife certainly, it's great.
I'm still working on that, but go ahead, Daniel.
It's all right.
But positive is that I have a stable relationship with my family. That is the uppermost. That was something that I stressed that when I left rehab, and when I left rehab, that was something that was instilled in me, that if your family dynamic is fucked up, it's going to be really hard for you to come back to a stable place, even if you're not using drugs or whatever. You have to focus on, because that's essentially who feed you the energy around you all the time, so if you're not good in there, you're going to feel shitty about yourself if your mom's fucking always telling you, hey, you ain't shit, or your dad's telling you ain't shit, or you're never going to be shit. So that's like, that was really important for me. So right now I have a great relationship with my family, and the fact that there's an active effort to get better is why I feel grateful, because not a lot of people can say that. Like, we're all trying to navigate with each other, and that's great, to see the effort on everybody's behalf to navigate better and to keep the family together. And
It's hard.
and social, and I think what's up?
Yeah, I think that's another important one. Not only your wife but your family as well. Your your family needs to be positive too. You know, you could have some. You know, I know it's not always that way. Not everybody's family is the same way, but you know, luckily, thanks to God, our family has always been, you know, mostly positive for everything we do. You know, they got our back. It's a small family, but you know, we all support each other. We all help each other, and you know, they always want the best for you. You know,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, and that's a big plus. As long you know
Yeah.
comes with your wife and everything, and then your wife getting along with your family, that's a super plus.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
Definitely.
So,
you,
and
you
then
don't
I
want those
feel,
issues.
yeah, that's a whole other can of worms, dude. Damn. And you know, my social standing and social relationships, which is something that I totally tarnished for a long time. I tarnished every single, like, a lot of relationships that I had, meaning friendships and romantic. So I'm at a good place now.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend, and she's great, and she's the opposite of me, and she brings a lot of good things to my life. So that's cool that I could have a normal relationship. You know, I could have normal relationships with people. I could have friendships, and I could have bonds with people. Things that I didn't have before. And then I'm top notch. I'm top notch in the school. I something I that caught me by surprise. I had told myself since so long that I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good at learning, and
Yeah.
that was not true. I ended like I gave up on the pursuing an education because it seemed like that was not gonna be something for me, you know? And
Yeah.
to totally flip that on its head, the other day I was going into biology, and we were taking a test with no study guide. I had said I had mentioned it. We were taking a test about no study guide, no anything.
Yeah,
Traditionally, they
mentioned it on
usually
the
let you
chat. Yeah.
take. Yeah, so they usually let you have study guides and notes and stuff. And the teacher was like, no. So I didn't. I just found it funny that the teacher was gonna do that because that's pretty hard. And to see everybody's face, it was funny, you know. But
Yeah.
fuck, what am I gonna do? Complain? The teacher's not gonna change. It's just
Yeah.
there's teachers that are worse than that. That are like, you know. So you got to just be prepared. And I ended up scoring the highest test, and he said it in front of everybody. That was the first time that I don't get praised for doing something terrible, or like for doing
Yeah.
something bad, you know, in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
teachers used to fucking call me out for writing ugly, and like, and that made me so embarrassed, and it kind of lowered my self
Yeah.
esteem because I felt that I was just like, damn, what about the information that's in there?
Yeah.
What about that?
Mhm.
You know, it's like, I don't know. And I continue to write shitty. It didn't change, but
It didn't
like,
change.
you know, but now I'm gonna graduate with honors. You know, and that's, you would have told
That's a pretty
anybody
good
that knew
job.
me.
Yeah.
You know, you would have told anybody that knew me that that wasn't gonna happen. You know, and maybe at the
Yep.
time that I was going, maybe when I was a little kid, but hey, dude, these kids onto something. But now I completely flipped my own script too because I've even felt like I wasn't gonna do it. I still feel the lingering effects of my low self esteem, and
Yeah.
I was really worried about the test. And I was like, oh, I was already like, but I need this A, and I need this A because then if I don't get this A, then I don't get the score that I want to, the GPA that I want to get. And it's like, bruh, like,
Yeah.
all right, it's good to want good scores and everything, but to lose hair over it, or to be like, you know, to be so stressed about it, it is what it is. Just do your part, and if you do your part, you're good. So
Yeah.
it's a learning process, and I did my part, and I did good. So it was like, wow, who knew that when you do work, when you do work, you get to reap the benefits, you know,
Yeah.
which is obvious,
Exactly.
but to me, that's not something. This is the longest I have gone. I think that I've been continuing with something that, and as consistently, you know, because
Yeah.
it's difficult. Sometimes you're not doing as good, but I just try to keep all of my work and changing all of my work ethic and everything. That's something that's been great, you know, positive.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll never even complain or get too much on my own head because I already know, like, not a lot of people are not a lot of people get to make the effort to flip the script. They just live on
Yeah.
with the titles that everybody's given them, you know. And the title that my government would think I'm a criminal and I'm this and I'm that. But that's not the identity that I was willing to take. And I decided
Yeah.
to kind of work towards my own identity, and that's the
Yeah.
most positive thing.
Proud of you, broski. What you call? Let's get into some what's hot in the streets. We
Dude,
get up
oh
out of
dude, I've
here.
been wanting to say this one. Hey, Kanye, made an diamond encrusted Nazi symbol.
Wait, I thought you were talking about
He's on a sick
you're
one.
talking about the hoodies. The
Oh,
Yeah,
like
okay.
stand
So he
outfit?
made
Oh,
he made the
something else?
hoodies.
What we talk-
He made the hoodies,
Right.
but he made now a diamond encrusted pendant Nazi symbol, and he was flexing that he had the insides of the Nazi symbol encrusted too. So it's like,
Oh,
what
the
you know
insides,
about that,
guy.
man? We got the sides
Wow.
encrusted, man.
It's a
This guy got
reversible or
some
what?
issues.
Reversible fucking hate sweater or what?
He just-
He
no,
didn't
no,
make it a
it's the
spinner?
pendant. It's a pendant. It wasn't a sweater. It was a diamond encrusted.
Oh,
like
Yeah.
a necklace piece.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he's like flexing it, and I was just like, I started laughing because this dude really tops it every time. I'm kind of excited to
it's
see
just-
what
I
the
didn't-
next stunt. It's
Yeah, I didn't
good.
see
It's-
that. Where did he flex it on? Like on social media? Did he put
Yeah.
a video or something with it on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Could have been fake news too with all the dang AI, man. You don't even know there's a war going on.
You know
with
what?
the
I lost it
information,
with
man.
those. I lost it with those hoodies, man. I was like,
Yeah, I
ah,
fuck with
this-
that.
I
No,
mean,
but the pendant was crazy, and someone was like, "Who made this?"
am I a bad person for? Am I a bad person for laughing at this kind of shit? Or no?
No, dude, it's funny.
'cause
It's-
I think-
it's funny.
I think that's
man.
what-
that's what it is.
And
Yeah, because he's. I don't. He's
That's what he's
not- I mean-
doing.
oh, okay.
I think in a
I think
sense
that's
what
what he's
he
doing.
wants.
Yeah,
He wants
shock
to laugh.
value. Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants
yeah.
reaction from fucking people
And
that
then
don't know any
also-
better. But
It's just like really putting the freedom of speech on its head. You know,
yeah, it is.
he's like
Yeah.
putting it on its head. He could, we live in America. That's what you do. You could do whatever you want, but just don't hurt anybody or.
yeah,
but-
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
But, I
it's not,
mean, that was
not,
crazy.
not in greatest of taste, you know. But
Yeah, definitely. Would I rock a
I guess
Nazi pendant? No,
Probably
Wouldn't.
not.
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh.
I'm not
Yeah.
Nazi, but if I
Yeah.
find it, it's.
I want the list
not
of everybody
funny
that
to-
bought that sweater and
I
shit.
know.
I want the list of everybody's name who bought that
Put
hoodie.
them
Hey,
all on blast. Hey,
put that shit
yeah.
on blast. We want to see those
So
hoodies.
what, man? I was collecting it, dude.
Yeah, and I bet you nobody's worn it yet. They just fucking bought it and then it's in the
Hell
closet.
yeah.
What if I buy it and wear it in Henderson? There's plenty of white people here. When I get Joe,
What are you doing?
It's
Chill out,
cool.
dude.
You might get served.
might be cool.
You might get
served.
served first. You'd be like, oh, we got your
hell
table
no.
right here, Mr. Baez.
Find me hanging on the damn light pole over here. No respect.
What's the
You got
next?
your table
Hey,
here. Oh,
hey,
VIP
the next
service.
thing,
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty badass fraud that an HR manager in China defrauded his company of 2.2 million by making 22 fake employees and cashing pay, and he was only
Oh.
discovered because they had perfect attendance.
Oh, God.
yeah,
you gotta
no.
call out sick, my
I
G.
know.
That's
know.
I know. Hey,
that's the Asian part of him. He said, nah, my peeps always come to work.
Yeah.
Dental
It's
a dental
what do you
appointment
mean?
or something, you know?
So hey,
Fucking
they must get sick
measles
with
appointment.
something.
Yeah.
It's
I
all,
thought
hey,
COVID
man.
was hot. No
I
COVID,
know.
nothing.
Nah,
Fuck, dog.
A flu shot, something.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
It's like
No
yeah,
checkup on
yeah.
his body work. No.
Damn, an HR fucking
2.2
So how did he get
catch him?
million.
did it say how he got the money though? Because I mean, HR doesn't work in the finance department.
So
yeah,
he-
he does the hiring,
maybe-
but
But
direct
he
deposit
made
to all his
he
accounts.
does the hiring, yeah. But he basically just ran fake social securities, or
Yeah,
I don't know how it
yeah.
works in China. But he had 22 of them, and he ran in. So he was a HR manager. So he's like, "Hey, I hired these people, man. We got to do this
man,
job."
they're good people. They work from home.
Mhm,
right.
Yeah,
Call them.
and you know what? There was these fraud that they were doing from IBC too. At IBC, they were getting a bunch of bots to
Stop
collect financial aid. You could make-
my God.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you
All
could
that shit
cash
comes
in.
back to haunt you though,
Fuck yeah.
because you still see
mames.
people like I see people in the news from that
Oh, yeah.
COVID unemployment shit, and
Oh
they're
yeah,
busting
from
them
the
right now. Still,
PPP loans. Yeah.
yeah, from all the loans. Yeah, they're still busting them.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah.
people are resigning left and right and shit. Some city council from I think from El Centro resigned, or
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's
he
something going on
resigned.
with him, and then I heard a bunch of people on the COVID all that crap. They're resigning so they want to get fired or prosecuted. I don't know what the hell, but
All that shady business.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking crazy
all
though.
that Dodge business, huh?
And that's what
Yeah.
takes me to my next thing. Like I talk criminals all the time. Like, hey, if you do what you're doing right now and put it in a positive, you might be fucking
That's
doing
what I'm
great out
saying.
there, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
You know,
Yeah,
initiative, you know what I mean?
initiative,
You're
yeah.
onto
The opposite.
something.
Like,
You're
like,
onto
the
the
guy
wrong
took his
thing.
time and made 22 employees, 22 social security, 22 names, and kept it on for a while. I mean,
And he,
Who could've been a
the
CEO?
only,
yeah,
the only
right?
reason he got caught, everything was perfect. But the only reason he got caught was because he didn't
'Cause
think
no.
of the damn attendance.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
something.
man,
You know,
that's-
kids.
Si vas a
Kids
hacer algo,
recital or
hazlo
something.
bien.
Fuck.
Si vas a hacer
Man,
tranzas,
nothing-
tan sea
The
bien.
brother got married. I don't know.
Something. Jesus Christ.
No excuses.
No,
Not
nothing,
one?
man.
Man.
That's the importance of
Jesus.
calling off. So whenever you do want to call off, make sure, man. Hey, it's part of the
Make
show.
sure- yeah, make sure you call out so you don't get
My
looked
wife,
at.
my wife was an employee, was it? She never calls out.
She never calls out.
Perfect employer, right there.
Yeah, you gotta call out. You gotta enjoy your life, man. Can't all be work.
Yeah.
Especially if you got family.
Not encouraging calling out, but do it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay.
Daniel, what else you got? You got another one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's the latest tariff, one of the latest tariffs, which is the taxes being imposed, got imposed
Yeah.
to Mexico, right? They were going back and forth. They're like, hey, yeah. So Trump was like, hey, you guys better do something about the border and about all the drugs that's coming across and all the cartel
Yeah,
activity.
I heard about
It's
that.
getting in a hand. So fast forward, he was like, if y'all comply, then I'll take the tariffs away. So then they complied, and
Yeah.
they turns out they made Mexican authorities had seized as much fentanyl in the last 5 months than they did in the entire year last year. Just right now.
So Mexico cops started doing raids and stuff, and in 5 months, because they actually put in the legwork, right? So in
Yeah.
5 months, they seized how much they actually did in a year last year.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he shows you.
And so-
that just shows you the drug war's bullshit.
And then so okay, now fast forward. Trump said he's gonna still impose the tariffs, and they started getting they mobilized troops to the border. So they mobilized troops
Yeah.
to the border, and so in the result of
Beautiful.
that, they're making more arrests and more extraditions from Mexico and China.
Yeah.
Mexico also imposed tariffs on China. So that's a
So
whole
now
other.
everybody's doing tariffs
That's
on
a
tariffs.
Damn.
So because China was really doing trade deals with Mexico, and China was essentially started to poke their holes in Mexico and getting a lot of businesses
They're
there.
buying a lot of property.
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Again?
A lot of
Mhm.
property. Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so there's a war going on. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a pretty world stage way to say fuck off.
Fuck
You
you.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
We
matter.
know what you're doing,
Yeah.
but we just made the little person tell you no, even though we know that you got been fucking around, but just tell
Yeah.
no more. So no, ya no
Yeah.
me dejan salir contigo.
USA's back, bro.
Yeah, but as a president too, you can't go back on your word, bro. You
No.
say something, you got to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
I
still,
know it's a shady business, but I mean,
That's,
if
those. I mean,
Yeah.
he is a politician.
I mean, but if
Yeah.
if you tell somebody to do something
Yeah.
and they do it, and then you go back on it, that's not a good look on you neither, you know.
Mhm.
Because next time you say something, they're gonna be like, "Ah, fuck you," you know.
yeah,
They
but it's a
believe you no
power
more.
struggle. You see who's in
Yeah.
charge and who isn't in charge, because like we're neighbors with Mexico, so that's a pretty important point. Canada too,
Yeah,
and
Mexico's always been like that, though. I mean,
If-
is Trump gonna change that? Pff, I doubt it.
I think he has
Tariffs aren't
enough.
gonna.
I think he has
Go
enough
ahead.
manpower to at the end of the day, it seems like there's a huge Israeli influence. So wherever Israel's at, I feel like it's not even America anymore. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like there's money. Where's the money coming from?
Money.
Follow the
yeah.
money. Follow
Money,
the
the
money.
root of all evil. Right there. But
Oh yeah. So that is a pretty cool to see the not cool, but it's interesting to see the escalation.
the world
Yeah,
politics.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that we
World,
don't fight wars anymore, just like with
It's
shooting
just
and
chess.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a different kind of fighting going on. The last one,
Mm-hmm.
Utah's the first state to ban fluoride in their water. So
Ooh,
I don't know if you guys
finally.
know, or I don't know if you guys know, but there's like in the past there's like all kinds of conspiracy theories on the fluoride, and the fluoride calcifies your pineal
Yeah.
gland, and the pineal gland is your third eye, and you see aliens and all that stuff, man.
Ooh, aliens.
But
So
there was like a
fluoride
lot of
makes you see
conspiracy.
aliens.
No.
No, it
Fluoride
doesn't
stops
actually.
you
Oh, it
from
doesn't.
seeing all the
It's- yeah.
great stuff or achieving or getting to your full potential. So there was a lot of conspiracy theories that
Yeah,
Be third eye
Fluoride
blind.
yeah. Third eye, the fluoride was bad for you, right? So
Yeah.
then
Give it up to Pacific.
but Also, an interesting thing is that the UK Europeans don't have fluoride in the water, and you could tell because
Yeah.
of their teeth. Because
Yeah.
it does help out teeth,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then they said that it was they're saying that the evidence that they're using to ban it is that there's evidence of it being causing neurodevelopmental problems, and so I don't know, you know, if who knows, studies can be manipulated in many ways, so you never know unless you
Yeah.
read the study or you're in that industry. But that's pretty like
Mhm.
this getting move on to things that were conspiracy theories to coming truth or at least coming alive, rather than just
Yeah.
like on a internet comment section.
Yeah, and Utah's the only one that did it out of all the
Yeah,
states.
first state. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're the only ones, but they're first state.
If they're gonna follow, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
but-
see. We'll see
yeah.
if they're
The
they get any better because they're a little weird over there to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of
all the Mormons.
Mormons, huh?
Yeah.
Who
Got a
knows,
little-
man?
They have you seen that? Have you seen that show on Netflix? God damn it, what's it called?
Oh, yeah.
The one with the Indians and the Mormons
Yeah, yeah.
and the
Oh, yeah.
and the Cowboys. Have you
Yeah,
seen it,
that's
Daniel?
Hey, them Mormons are oof.
Wait, is it the
With a
one
lot-
about
a lot
the
of
Colts?
history. Yeah.
About the Colts?
No, it
Let
was
me see.
What?
I'll pull it up.
But yeah, the Mormons, they have a very what's his name? Brigham Young. Oh yeah,
Los
very,
Mormones.
very I'll say I won't bash the Mormons, but I'll say there's some interesting history.
Yeah,
Shoot,
definitely
look
about the origins of their church.
Oh yeah, American Primeval.
Primeval, yeah, there
American
you go.
Primeval.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, watch that
What
show,
is it?
Daniel. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched it,
American Primeval, check it out.
check it out. It's basically about the Mormons
All the settling, yeah, I
and
remember
the Indians when they were fighting for land.
Mhm.
Back in the day,
settlements.
settlements and all
People
that
were
stuff.
settling.
Wow. In
Yeah, but
Utah
it's
and
kinda-
around there?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it gives you a glimpse kind of like how
What?
everybody was and shit. And God, the Mormons weren't that great. I'll tell you that
No,
much.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, just
Pretty
watch
wild.
it, Daniel.
Yeah.
Anybody
What's-
out there
what's it
watch it
called?
too on Netflix. That's just
Amer-
Primeval.
American Primeval.
Primeval. On Netflix.
Yeah.
American Primeval.
Ponlo ahí en el
Yeah.
Netflix.
Netflix. Get it while it's hot.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Netflix and
Watch it.
chill.
And we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, watch it, okay? It's your homework.
All right, Daniel. We're good. That's it for today. We'll see you
Show.
next week.
Good
Daniel,
talk. Good talk.
thanks for stopping by. See you later.
broski. See you.
Deuces.
See you on Thursday
Peace.
night.
Peace.
Later.
Peace in the Middle
All right,
East,
love you
man.
guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all. But who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop until like 6 in the morning. Break it down.